Happy Friday Eve, folks. Xavier back once again with another video. And looks like I got two rants to do today that are going to be tributes. One about a former NBA player who would have been turning 40 and a member of the Hart Foundation who died on this day 20 years ago. We're going to talk about this wrestler first. Today we celebrate the life and legacy of Hart Foundation member Owen James Hart. Today has been 20 years since we lost him. Bro, I can't believe it's been that long. It don't feel like no 20 years. Owen Hart was a Canadian-American professional and amateur wrestler who worked for several promotions including Stampede Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, WCW, and WWE back when it was known as WWF. He received his most success in the WWE where he wrestled under both his real name and the ring name, the Blue Blazer. Owen Hart is a former European champion, a two-time Intercontinental champion, four-time Tag Team champion. He won the 1994 King of the Ring. He won 3 Slammy Awards for Biggest Rat, Squared Circle Shocker, and the Best Bow Tie. And also, he is an inductee of the WWE Hall of Fame Class of 2019, along with Bret the Hitman Hart, Jim the Anvil Knight Hart, and the rest of the Hart Foundation. One of my favorite memories with Owen Hart was, you know, the D-Generation X were impersonating the Nation of Domination. Road Dogg was D'Lo Brown. Triple H was The Rock. X-Pac was Mark Henry. And some fan named Jason Sensation was Owen Hart. And Owen Hart got offended when Jason Sensation was doing a great impersonation of him. He was in the back. He was backstage with the members of the Nation of Domination, The Rock, D'Lo Brown, and Mark Henry. And he said, "You, Jason Sensation, you think you're real funny imitating me and making fun of me? Well, why don't I just come down there and slap the piss out of you, you little punk?" I'm like, damn, Owen Hart, is it that serious? I mean, come on, the guy was just having some fun. And so Owen Hart had enough of Jason Sensation doing an impersonation of him. So Owen Hart ran down the ramp, went right to the commentaries table. I believe it was Shawn Michaels, Jerry the King Lawler, JR, and Jason Sensation. Owen Hart went up to Jason Sensation and bitch slapped him. And then he started attacking Jerry the King Lawler, threw Jason Sensation into the ring, and gave him the sharpshooter. I'm like, come on, Owen. He's a 20-year-old kid. He's a fan. And of course, D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry were trying to calm Owen Hart down. And The Rock was the only one that was laughing at Jason Sensation for what Owen Hart did to him. And then here comes D-Generation X. And the brawl was on between the Nation of Domination and DX. And Owen Hart was the only one that ran out of the ring like a coward. What you running for, Owen Hart? What you running for? You attacked Jason Sensation just because he was doing an impersonation of you. And now you want to run like a coward instead of fighting like a man? What other memories do I like about Owen Hart? Of course, 4 weeks after WrestleMania 15, during a tag team match with Ken Shamrock against Mark Henry and The Rock, Owen Hart turned on Ken Shamrock, snapping his ankle and biting his ear in the process. After the attack, Ken Shamrock became the co-leader with The Rock of the Nation of Domination, claiming that enough is enough and it's time for a change. That was his slogan right there, enough is enough and it's time for a change. he also teamed up with WWE Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett, and he returned as his character, the Blue Blazer. So, Owen Hart successfully defended their tag team championship belts and Jeff Jarrett against Tess and D'Lo Brown. They lost the titles to the team of Kane and X-Pac on an episode of Raw on my sister's birthday, April 5th, 1999. However, Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett continued to team together until, sadly, on this day, May 23rd, 1999, Owen Hart died due to injuries suffering following an equipment malfunction and subsequent fall from the rafters of Kemper Arena in Kansas City, Missouri, during his ring entrance at the 1999 WWF Over the Edge pay-per-view. He was 34 years old, and he just turned 34 2 weeks before his death. Ain't that something? He just turned 34 2 weeks before his death. He would have been 54 right now. I bet everybody the next day at school was talking about Owen Hart's death. Let me know in the comments down below if you and your friends were at school talking about Owen Hart's death on the date on May 24th, 1999. A special episode of Raw is War aired on the day after Owen Hart's death. Instead of calling the show Raw is War, they dubbed it as Raw is Owen, a 2-hour tribute to Owen Hart. And nearly 20 years later, after his death, Owen Hart and the rest of the Hart Foundation were inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2019. I can't believe it's been 20 years since Owen Hart passed away. Oh, man. Owen Hart was definitely a great heel. He was definitely one of the best wrestlers to ever do it. Besides Bret the Hitman Hart, he was my second favorite member of the Hart Foundation. Ah, man, 20 years without Owen Hart. I can't believe it. So, that's going to wrap up my first rant of the day, remembering Owen Hart 20 years later after his death. And I can't believe that it's been 20 years since this happened. Let me know, where were you on this day 20 years ago when you heard the news about Owen Hart's death? Like I said, the day after his death, you guys were probably at school talking to your friends about this. And I bet y'all couldn't wait to watch the Raw is War special, Raw is Owen, later on that night. Anyway, let me know what y'all think about Owen Hart looking back 20 years later after his death. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will catch you in a minute for my next rant about a 14-year NBA veteran who would have been 40 years old today. Rest in peace, Owen Hart. May 7th, 1965 to May 23rd, 1999. You may be gone, but your legacy in the wrestling business will live on.